Okay.
Yeah. Then I joined Phoenix Players, and began to act with them, and that opened me up even more.
So this arts thing has always been in you somewhere.
It's been there,
even despite the timidness.
Yeah.
Even with the timidness, what pushed you to go? And I mean, Phoenix, first and foremost, for you to enter, I like the way you said I joined Phoenix, like it's a small thing. It's a big thing. When I've spoken to people, Shinde, for example, and you're talking about your era, that's where the greats were.
Yeah.
Like,
I loved it. So, was it through Baptist? I got to know Kina Eric Wainaina and that Koro, and he was part of Phoenix. So he would invite me, like, you know, I'm going for rehearsal, come, and then after that we go home, because we were living around the same area. So one time they were doing a musical, and they were looking for a stand-in for one of the, understudy for one of the singers, because she had said she was traveling or something. So they were like, okay, in case she doesn't come back on time, we need somebody to learn her part. That's also where I met Ian Bogua, because he was employed there. And so I auditioned, they took me somehow, and then I started learning her part. It wasn't really me, you know, so I didn't think I was doing a good job. But then her trip was cancelled, or she came back early, so now they didn't need me. Then one of the girls in the chorus dropped out, so they added me there. So then I began, and we did a musical that was end of the year.
And now are we in the 90s?
We're in the 90s.
Okay. Early
late 90s.
Late 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the musical. Then every beginning of the year they do a Shakespeare. So I auditioned for that, and they took me, and I did it, and I became now one of the ones who was always in. Like, we're rehearsing now, we do the play, then other people are rehearsing. As soon as we finish, I'm in another rehearsal. So.
And what did the Phoenix experience do for you?
Oh, I loved it because it took me out of myself. During that time, I was that person, you know, and it gave me, it took me into a different world, and into a different, and I would embrace that character completely, you know. I became them. So for that time, I didn't need to be me. I could be whatever that character was, and it was different characters. Sometimes you're somebody funny, sometimes you're somebody
loud,
horrid, sometimes you're somebody loud, whatever. And I did them well, so they kept giving me different roles.
Because you just wanted to leave yourself.
I was enjoying this. I was enjoying this. And then when I get off stage, I go back to my quietness. So again, people didn't know.
Dual personality.
Yeah.
But now what was it? Because this now you're in, okay, you talked about being in the choir, being in front of people, but this time you're no longer hidden, you're standing out, you've got words that you're shouting in front of people. For a moment of time, all eyes are on you.
But you see, the thing about Phoenix,
it's dark.
It's dark.
Okay.
I mean, the stage would end here, and there's someone sitting here. But it's dark. And I somehow had this ability to just get into that space, that person. So even when I was looking out, I was not looking out as me. I was looking out as that person. So if I'm a bold person, I would look out boldly, you know. It didn't, my character never came, my personal character never came.
You are not on stage, you. That is so deep. So, okay, what happens? So you do like countless plays in this time.
I did a lot of plays during that time. Loved the experience.
And on the side you're working?
On the side I'm working, and during the weekends when I'm not acting, I'm on stage with the worship team. So my life was full. It was full. It was fun. Yeah. Okay,
continue with this story. You know, on the Playhouse I say you don't really know people until you take time out to know people. And hearing your story, I'm like, okay, now I've understood her background. I understand. I mean, even till now, I still see the quietness in you.
Yeah.
You know, but then on stage, I see a different personality,
Yeah.
and even with different people, I see different
Yeah.
aspects of you coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it, because the training at Phoenix taught me to get into the moment. So even when I'm directing, I am that only, you know. So the quietness, whatever, gets hidden.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. You know, I can go and be whatever I need to be. And then when we're done. And then in high school, I did music and as a subject. And we had an amazing teacher from America, Peace Corps lady, and she was fantastic. She made all of us love music.
Are you doing vocals? Are you playing an instrument?
Playing piano, and then learning theory. And I did that up to O levels. Got a distinction, which I never thought I would. So, and we did a lot of singing and whatever. So that was for me, that was the best part of being in Kenya High. And I always feel if I hadn't gone and met this lady, she wasn't like even trying to bring me out or anything. She was teaching, but just her manner, everything about her helped me even in my directing now, how to interact, how to get guys to just give you what you need, you know.
Because there are people in your choir can span up to 400 people, if not more. There are people who must be you in this time. I mean, the timidness, the personality that you're explaining yourself right now. There are people who I'm sure are like that in the choir right now, but are gifted. And also maybe need to be brought out. And you're aware of that.
I pray I'm doing it for them. I know there are people like that. And when some of them, until you get to hear them sing like as themselves, like on their own without the choir, you realize, oh my goodness, this person has an amazing personality, or they have an amazing voice, you know, because sometimes it's not the voice, it's just how they bring it out. And maybe if you still leave them in the crowd, you never get to know.
In fact, now that we're, because you choir direct, if I'm not wrong, what is it that you learned from Kenya High? Are some of the things that you do? Like, give me an example of what some of the stuff that she taught you that you're like, aha, this I still apply.
Making, okay, I think a difference, like looking at the choir at school and the choir at church. Choir at church was very serious. We did all the right things. And I mean, even with that, because we're using like sheet music, not whatever, so it was good because it helped in my discipline of.
In church?
Yeah.
You were
reading
sheet
music, yeah.
Whoa.
But the choir at school helped me get the fun out of it, because she would try and bring out like, what is this song about? Why are we trying to sing it like this? And she was fun. She'd be laughing, she'd be cracking jokes, she'd be, you know, and so I learned to do that. I make a lot of noise when we are rehearsing.
No, it's not.
I tease them.
It's serious, but it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's a time when you need to, like, you know, and I do that when I need to be
blast
hard.
People and discipline.
I do blast them. But we laugh a lot. You know, we crack jokes. We have fun. It's fun. I love being in choir.
You've talked. So, did you learn to read in church? Did you learn to read in school, or both?
In school.
So by the time you get into church, you already knew how to read. Yeah.
And then it just like developed my skill, because we'd be in school, then you come to church and you're given your sheet music, so you're practicing what you've been learning in school. Yeah. I
say church is one of the best places to bring out your gifting. Yeah. Because every week you've got to prepare every week for something. Okay, so let's continue with this story. I don't know where we've left it, whether you're working, transitioning.
All over the place.
It's okay, it's all over, but it's fun. I like it.
Yeah. Then, where are we going now?
Where do you want the story to go? Okay, so for example, we left it at Daystar. Okay, no, you've
so I moved from Daystar to UBS.
Yes, now
so
UBS.
While I'm at UBS is when now I was at Phoenix.
Yes, actually that's where we were.
Yes.
We're at Phoenix. Okay,
yes.
so what happens after Phoenix? Do you transition out of Phoenix, or does anything new come at Phoenix? Because there's Phoenix, UBS, church.
I got married to somebody who was not very happy with me having too much social interaction.